forms, and we'll try to understand now how to take the data which we have already done. Now, going further, what we'll do is we'll take that data, whatever is being sent, right, and we will try to update we'll try to update that into the database. Like, we'll create one database for this project, and we will try to publish our data into the database through the Flask application, and also get the same well displaying. Okay. All right. So rather than sign up, I'm going to rename it. Right. I'm going to refactor rename and movie list.html. Okay, so I'm going to refactor this. I'm going to create another HTML. Okay, not Python file, another HTML. And this, I am going to name it as movie.html. So that we'll be adding two HTMLs, right? So first, let me just say work on the create movie thing. Okay, so first let us try to understand. So I want to build a mini movie database. Now, what all I want to store as part of the movie database? Let's create a small movie. This is our small project now. Okay. Right. So I want to store a movie information. For example, tell me what all data would be there as part of the movie. Obviously, it'll have a name. Yes
Yes,
or
sir.
no?
Yes,
It'll
sir.
have
Yes, sir.
movie will have actors, right? Movie will have actors. Movie will have a director. Movie will have a music director.
Producers.
Is producer. Actors can be multiple people, right? When I talk about actors, actors have, for example, name and role. What is the role in that movie? Is it a lead role? Or yeah, maybe it's a name and a lead role or a character artist, a heroine, hero, and a character artist. So you can have three things. So which means actors can be multiple. Actors can be multiple. Director can be only one. Movie will have only one name. Act director, music director one. Producer can be multiple. For now, let's assume one. But actors obviously will have multiple, right? So there is a hero, for example, actor, actress, and certain supporting characters. Like this is what we want to build. Now, if from the UI, what I have to do is, right? This is my see. Whenever you are building a project, first you should know what will be your data. What will be your data? So here, if I have to store movie, so obviously you have to think, okay, what are the different data that I have to store, right? What should be displayed? What should be created? And all of this you have to think. Now, when you are thinking, obviously, just like we discussed now, okay, this is what a movie will pretty much consist of. I mean, obviously, there are a lot of other elements, but for now, we are taking a very basic information. Let us take this much. Yeah. So if I'm creating a movie, I have to take all of these as an input from the browser that, okay, give me the movie name, give me the actors, right? Give me the director name, give me the music director name, give me the producer name, right? And after that, so this from the browser, you have to accept this much of data. Once you take the browser, so this is your browser, right? So you will have a browser and then you have your input as a forms and you are taking all the data and you have one submit button that submits the data. Once it is submitted, it comes to your web application. It comes to your application. So your application will have a certain database. Here in our case, we'll have a Postgre database, which will, let us say our DB name is MovieDB. Okay. In that we can have multiple tables, one table for movie, right? One table for actors, one table for actors, right? So for all the actors, data should go in the actor table. All the movie data should go in the movie table. Okay. Right.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there will be one table for actors who maybe say just say name, right? And you also have, let us take language, right? Language. Actor will, what all the properties of an actor? Actor, name, age. What else can be the property of an actor? Gender. Yeah. What else can be? Can let us say, let us take something called industry, the Telugu industry, Tamil industry, Kannada, Malayalam, whatever, right? So this let us take this much details for an actor, right? And now a movie can have multiple actors, right? So I have a movie table, right, which can store only movie names, right? And I have to have one more table which can store movie actors. Okay, this is movie actors, and another table which only has actors information, because one actor can act in multiple movies. One actor will not always work in one movie, right? One actor can work in multiple movies. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right here, let's say, for example, give me some movie name and some actor. You guys have to be quick at it. Give me some movie name. Tell me, yaar, some movie
Jail,
name.
jailer, sir.
Okay, for example, Jailer is the recent one, right? Okay, now Jailer, right? In the movie table, right, I have Jailer as my movie name, and right, and I have another table which contains actors. Okay, who else is there in Jailer? I don't know. Okay, right. So Jailer is my movie name. Okay, now I'll have certain ID in the table created for this, and my name is okay, ID I'll have, let us say, one. Name is Jailer, right? Producer is some XYZ. Director is Nelson, right? Music director, right? Anirudh. Okay. Yeah, right. So this is the movie entry that I'll create based on whatever is given from the UI, right? And after this, I also have the actor list. Now for this movie, right? Movie actor, right? So what I'll do is movie ID 1. Now actor ID is Rajnikant is 1, Ramakrishna is 2, right? Movie ID is 1, actor ID is 1, movie ID, actor ID, and role. Let us say hero. Okay. And movie ID 1, actor ID 2, and the role is right. So in the same way, movie ID 1, actor ID, let us say 3, Jackie Shroff, and actor ID 3, supporting character, right? Or a villain, I don't know, whatever. Right. So for Shivraj Kumar, right? Movie ID 1, actor ID 4, right? Supporting character. So if you see, right, now you understand we need three tables. One to store just the movie information, another one to store actors. Now once I have movies and actors, because there will be many movies, there will be many actors, right? And we have to like accommodate people onto different things, right? So for example, and that is why we need movie actors. That way, all if I want all the actors of a jailer, very simple, right? I can run where movie ID is one. So then I got all the actors. You have to join, right? If you have been using SQL or have read about SQL, so you have to use join so that you can combine the data across these three tables. Okay, now we are clear that, okay, what are the databases, what are the different tables that we have to create, and what should the each table contain? What should each table contain? Simple. Are we good here?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
Yes, sir.
right now, what I'm going to do, right? So from here, your Flask API, for example, create movie, right? Create movie. If this is your API and this will receive your form data, right? Take all the data, have checks, right? Have checks. Okay, is it a valid number, valid data, or like, is it a mandatory data? For example, I always want a name for a movie. You cannot just send submit without a name. You cannot submit without an actor. You cannot submit without a director. Music director, producer, and language, let us say they are optional. These are optional. Okay, I can go ahead and create without them also, right? Without them also, right? But with this, we need to, with this, we need to have. Right, so minimum I want this data to be present, right? Name, actors and director, and music director, producer and language can be optional, right? So which means, okay, so okay, so what we have to do is, okay, you have to add a check. Without this, you are not going to create a record. You have to send a error response back to UI that I need this detail, right? You have to say I need this detail. So there are different status codes. In this, you will be using 400, which means bad request. Because why is it a bad request? Because they are not sending the data that you have asked for, because they are not sending the data that you had asked for. So you will send a bad request response, right? And once, let us say you have everything that you wanted, then you will go and create that data. Then you will go and create that data. So that data will be inserted into the DB. Yeah. Then you will need one more API, which is to create actor. Right? Create movie is done. From the movie, before creating movie, you need to create the actors. Before, yeah, so actors is good enough, and then you can select that those actors from the from the while creating actors, we'll ensure that we'll provide one API to get the actors, get actors, and then we'll have one more API to get movies. Okay, so this is like a proper project for you. This is like a proper project, right? Now, you understood what we are going to do,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
right? Now, quickly write a HTML page which takes all of these input. How should the HTML form look like? Quickly write a HTML. Day 3, I'm going to just create another folder. Just copy. I'm moving all of that into MovieDB app, right? So first is, let us just go ahead and create the PG database column names and just let's create the table. Okay, even before that, like, let's just go create the tables, right? Give me the syntax to create the table. So what here I'm going to do is I'm just going to create one file called schema.sql. Okay, I'm going to create a schema. So what should we do?
Create schema name, sir. Like otherwise create table name and column.
Okay, so, okay, the schema I'm just saying, like, in general, but here I'm going to have all my DB name and tables and all of that. Okay. First thing what we want to do is
Create database name. Movie.
done. First, what I need is the database. And after that, what I need is table name.
Table create.
Name. Let me say
Table name.
actors. What all we need to have? So we need to add
ID.
serial. Okay. Then what I want is first name, 50, last name, varchar. Okay, let me just take 50, 50. Okay. And what else we're having capturing details here? Industry is varchar 50. What else we were considering for the actors? Role, right? Not role. Actors table will not have movie table. Movie actors will have the role. What else we were considering? Actors to have in age, gender, and industry. Obviously, we need gender. Gender. I'm going to take var char as 1. So which means either F or M, male or female. Okay, ID, first name, last name, industry. What else was there? Uh, Age. So if I want to tell the actor age, I need the date of birth. Right? Date of birth, I'm going to take date time. What exactly is the SQL this thing SQL data type for date of birth? What should be the data type?
Date.
PGS. So I'll just,
Same only,
because I
sir.
don't want time, I'm just going to take
Date.
the date. I don't want time and all, right? We are not going to check his kundli, so we'll just take the date, right? So this is my actor table done. We want to create one more table. This is for movies. Okay. Now tell me what all the data that we decided. Okay, let me just take ID, serial. Okay, name. I'm just going to take name, 100. Okay, what else? Okay. Instead of actors, what I'm going to make this is people, actors. So what do you call a group of people who create a movie? Like actor, director, anything. So I'm just going to put everything here, and type is basically I'll change it as actor and so on. So basically what I want here is in the type, actor can be, or director can be, music director can be, right? So these are the different people who can be in that. Okay, so these are the different this thing. So I'm going to say, okay. So, okay. I'm just going to call it as movie people. Okay. For now, we'll figure out a better name later. But yeah, then movies, director. Okay. Now director can be come from this movie people, right? Director can also have an entry here. Okay. Director references movie people, and in that I'm going to refer ID. So which means if I have to create movie, that director entry should be there in the director entry should be there in the movie people. If not, we are going to create a new this thing. Okay. ID, name, director. What else did we think of the movie? So obviously language. Okay, what else did we think for the movie? What? Okay. Let me just take this as a production. Okay. So we are good. Then I'm going to create one more table. Create table. Movie actors. So all I need is movie ID, references, or else okay, fine. Let me make it actors, and whatever it is, I'll just take the name there only. Going to remove the type. Right, so director also I'll just say varchar okay. Then movie ID, references whom? References actors. Okay, sorry, references movies. Yeah, and in that what we want to refer to is the ID, and then actor ID. References meaning I'm creating a foreign key. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right. So I'm creating a foreign key between movie ID and actor ID. That's it. Or maybe if you want to give a rating for a movie, you can also add that. Rating as, let me just say, real. Okay, so now let us go and create this data. Let us go and create this data. Okay, so you are using a Python application. Why can't you use certain Python code to run certain scripts? So to create the DB, right? I'm going to write one script here. Okay. Right. If you want to talk to DB, what are the first things that you need?
Yeah, DB name, port name, and username,
Mm-hmm.
connection, Kazar dot connect. When we are opening the Kazar, we have to close the connection.
Okay. Right. Okay. Movie DB, not movie DB. What do I say? How do I call this? DB info. And I am going to create one dictionary here to take the host name. Okay, let me just go back to my previous project. Recent projects, Python evening class, right? I think that is the one. But I'm going to take this class as is. Back here, so I'm just going to create. Okay, so I know how to get the connection now. I'm just reusing the code that was there earlier. So obviously I need psycopg2 in this project. So what should I do?
Install, sir. Install psycopg2 binary.
Binary. So let me just try installing that. Whenever I install something, I want to keep my requirements file up to date so that when somebody wants to run this project in there, they have all the requirements. So here we should get the psycopg2. Why? Where did I install? So this is a different one, right? So yeah, I did install here, but I'm going to move this into day 3 folder. Day 3 slash. Okay, so we got the by psycopg binary. Yeah, so that is fine. So we are good to create a connection and stuff like that. So here, if you notice, right, the first thing that we did was like to specify the DB name itself. What if I don't? What if I'm using this to create DB itself? Right, if you want to create, right, so the default DB that I'm going to choose is Postgres. So that is the parent of everything, right? Using that, we will try to create a DB, right? Using that, we'll try to create a DB. All right. I am getting the connection object here. Once I have the connection object, what are we going to do? Right, so I'm going to run that file. I'm going to run that file. So first I want to read that file, right? I want to read whatever is there in the SQL, the schema.sql, and then I'm just going to execute whatever the statements that are there in it. Okay, how do I read? Schema is equal to open, right? I have to give the file name. What is my file name? Schema.sql, right? Dot read. So I'm going to read it completely. I have my schema here. Now I'm going to execute those statements. I'm going to execute those statements. So cursor is equal to connection dot cursor. Once I have the cursor object, cursor dot execute, and I'm going to pass my schema object, and I'm expecting this to go create everything, right? And I'm just going to say connection dot commit, connection dot close, right? That's it. So I am expecting this to create. So whatever it is. So here I am going to do this in the try block. I'm just going to do this in the try block. Taking connection, reading the schema, opening the cursor object, executing the statement. If at all, if there any exception, then if at all, if there is any exception, then I want to say roll back. I don't want to create any records. Whatever was there that till that time, roll back. And finally, anywhere where I'm going to commit and close. Commit also I'll probably put it in right after execute, and closing I will do it in the finally block. That too if connection, if connection is there, only then we want to do this connection dot close and also cursor dot close. Done. So this is the script that we are going to execute now and see whether it creates other respective records or not. Where is my PG admin? So right, anything I can open. Right, so the databases, we don't have any specific database, right, with respect to the MovieDB. After executing that, we are expecting it to be created here. Okay, so I'm going to execute this Python. Where is it? Okay, first let me go to CD. Day 2, day 3. Okay, fine. In that MovieDB app, and here I have this createDB. Python createDB.py. Okay, it got executed, but it is not giving any error as such because we have handled. Let us see if it has created first. Let me go refresh this. Okay, well, it did not create. Not sure if something might have gone wrong. Let's add certain logs. Schema. Okay, so let me execute this again. So error while executing. Error exception as E, and whatever is the E, I'm going to E, and I'm going to take this as a F string. Okay, let me save this and rerun. Okay, movie ID references. So that seems that there is a error. What is the error? I have did not mention the type, right? Int and then references. Okay, let me rewrite this. Inside the transaction cannot run inside a transaction block. Can create database cannot run inside a transaction block. Let me do one thing. So let me pull out the create DB. because first thing is I have to create DB, and after that I have to select this DB and then run the remaining. So create DB record, I'll just keep it here, and then we'll create another connection for this. Did you understand the problem?
Sir,
What is it?
we not mentioned data type over it, and
That is fine. The second part.
and we not mention whether the tables has to go in perfect
Correct.
DB or not.
We are saying create DB and then immediately we started creating tables, but we are not telling on which DB. Or else otherwise I can use this also. I am specifically telling movie DB dot on this DB, go create these tables. But I hope this will work, but then the primary problem is same. Create database cannot run inside a transaction block. Because this is a transaction block. Okay. Let me try one thing. I will try this first. Execute. Just this creation part, I'm going to take it out. And so this, see, Python is not just for writing the applications, or Python is mostly used for scripting also, to write such scripts, right? So create DB, and then what I'm going to say is dot commit, and then I'll read whatever is there in that. And let me try doing this now. Create is cannot run inside a transaction. Where are we running inside a transaction block? Okay, let me just see what does this mean. Let's try to understand what does he mean by that. See, whenever you get an error, obviously you'll end up searching in the Google itself, right? And then from there, the very famous site where everybody would have mostly people would have answered is on this forum called Stack Overflow. On this forum called Stack Overflow. So obviously we'll come here to see, like, there will be a lot of people who would have answered, right? So then we'll go check each answer. Okay, will it fit my, if I take this, will it fit my solution or not? Then you will try to understand what is that fix that they have done, right? And then we will we'll try to use that. Let me try connect as connection. No big difference, but not make whatever we have written as also same. It is just that it is not in the width block. Okay. All right. So create database, because I have already given my DB, and I'm going to create my DB here. MovieDB, and that's it. I'm just going to save it. I have my MovieDB, but at this point in time, there are no tables. And there is no unique constraint matching given key for reference to movies. So what I'm going to say is unique, and it should be ID should be unique. So we are just saying it should be unique. Okay, that's it. It executed without any errors. Let's go check if it has created the tables. Let me refresh. Let me go into schemas, public, and within that you will have tables. In that, did we get these three tables? Actors, movie actors, and movies.
Yes, sir.
Actors
Yes, sir.
has columns ID, first name, last name, industry, gender, DOB. Right, that is what we created. And movie actors have movie ID and actor ID. And movies table has ID, name, director, language, production, rating. So this is the data. These are the tables that we created, and we will be using that to create the records. Okay, so this is a simple script. Did we understood what we have done here? See what we the tables that we wanted to create. I have put it in the schema SQL. Right from here, I'm just reading that file, which means I'll get the complete data that is written here. Right, I created a connection object, which you already know, which we have seen in the earlier class. I'm creating a connection object. The SQL is nothing but whatever is the schema that I have read, and I'm executing that. Before that, I'm ensuring that a DB is created, and after that, I'm using the same DB name. All right, it gets that connection object, and it is going to create those tables for us. Done. Right, and that is why we are able to see the tables here with the respective column names. Right, so that is done.